I come in peace. Aren't these so cute? All right, well, hold on. You guys like really enjoyed the last alien. I'm gonna take these off, but you guys really enjoyed the last alien video I did. So I thought we would do another one. So today I want to talk about the Galactic Federation of Light, otherwise known as the GFL. And we're going to go over some different species of these aliens and how they kind of integrate and affect our world and like how we're living. So if you're new here, I'm Sarah, and I create this channel to give you practical, everyday ways to build a better life. And while aliens may not seem to kind of fit that narrative, it is, because the more knowledge that you have about what's actually going on in our world, the better you can acclimate, right? The deeper understanding that you have about what's going on, not only in your direct life, but in the cosmos and the world around you, you can better craft your life to the way that you actually desire. So let's jump in to learn about the Galactic Federation of Light. Oh, real quick, before we start, two things. One, sorry about there's noise. As I've mentioned in other videos over the last few months, there's just been a lot of construction in our house and there's just nowhere else for me to go. So sorry. And two, my camera is getting fixed, so I'll have better quality here shortly. I had to like mail it over to them and they had to diagnose it and all this stuff. So the main things we're going to cover today is obviously like who the GFL are, who's in it, how they're communicating with us, and how they're influencing humanity, Earth's awakening. So basically the GFLs, what I'm gonna call them throughout this video, they're a group of extraterrestrial beings that are very highly evolved, and they come together throughout like the galaxy, like all the different galaxies and star systems and all of that. So their mission, right, is to guide planets, including Earth, through the awakening, through their ascension process, and also to maintain balance and peace within the universe, like not just Earth, but the entire universe, and to help different planets and people and civilizations to awaken and to ascend. And kind of combined with that, it's to help humanity break free of like fear and control and all the things that's going on. So that's when, you know, when you're seeing people talk about ascending from 3D to 5D, that's kind of what they're talking about, is moving away from this control and fear-based society that we live in into a more joyful and love-filled and enlightened one. And if you do want to learn more about 5D Earth and how we're moving into it and how that's affecting your life, I will post this video here for you to check out. So the GFL is said to have been around, right, for millions of years, right? This isn't like a new thing. It's just becoming a little more known and talked about at this time because of where the collective is in our in our awakening process. And as I mentioned, kind of like they were originally created to protect developing civilizations from like negative forces, negative energies, negative beings, right? And so that's why you're seeing so many things clash right now. This isn't science fiction. You know, it's not just a bunch of like people running around with these on their heads. It's real. And there are a lot of people out there who have and do continue to connect directly with them and have relationships with different members of the GFL. Unfortunately, at this time, I am not one of them, although I want to be, please. Like, I come in peace, please. Oh my gosh. If and when that happens, y'all know I'll be telling y'all about it. So a lot of like ancient civilizations, cultures, whatever you want to call it, like Egyptians, they were very connected with the GFL, and they would call them like sky gods, or another one is like star beings. And they would talk about how, you know, these beings would visit them and communicate with them and help them with whatever they're trying to do for the greater of humanity. So they are from a ton of different star galaxies, however you want to put it. And let's dive into like just kind of a brief introduction of some of the more well-known extraterrestrial species that are part of, you know, the Galactic Federation of Light. Say that 5 times fast. So first, I want to talk about the Pleiadians, because for whatever reason, I feel mostly connected with them. And they're said to have a very like human-like appearance, more so like tall, blonde, blue-eyed, almost like they kind of like, obviously I don't personally know, but I've done so much research on all of this, and I'm just passing on the knowledge to you, right? Like, I'm not sitting here saying like I know everything, but based on the research, hours, days, books, all this shit that I've read and learned about, it seems like their appearance is kind of like almost an AI version of humans, and like they're bigger, and their particular mission is to spread wisdom, love, and healing energy to Earth. And as far as being connected to humanity, again, like, I don't know why I feel the most connected to them, but I do, and that's a very common connotation from a lot of people that are more so into esoteric content. So if you're watching this, I am interested to see like if you feel some sort of like spark or connection with any of the beings that I'm going to be mentioning. So if you are, let me know in the comments, because it's very interesting and I'd like to know. Next, we're going to talk about the Arcturians. So they are said to be a little more like blue skinned and very, very highly intelligent and advanced. And they're kind of known as like the guardians of higher like consciousness and like advanced technology. So do I want to get into this? It is said, yes, yeah, I do want to get into it. It is said that, you know, the world governments work with extraterrestrials, and I talked about this a little bit in my my last alien video. If you want to check it out, it's here. But it's said that they have a deal where aliens, extraterrestrials, whatever, can abduct humans, wipe their memories so they don't know, and just so they can like kind of do research. And they're not like, to my knowledge, they're not like harming humans in exchange for some of these higher technologies, right? So we give them us to kind of learn and research on, and in exchange, we as humans get some higher advanced technology. And that's kind of what the Arcturians are better known for. And so what they do is they really assist humans in telepathy and ascension and like higher consciousness. Next, let's talk about Sirians. So Sirians are really cool. They're also known to be like a little more like bluish, translucent-y skin, and they kind of have like a human cat type of like appearance. Badass, by the way, like so cool. And their main mission is helping humanity with like lost spiritual knowledge. So obviously a lot of people that are into this type of content are connected with these higher beings and raising their vibration, all these things are going to connect deeply with Sirians, because a lot of them are assisting us with that knowledge. A lot of people believe that like ancient Egypt and Atlantis, we'll have to get into that someday too, were very connected with these types of extraterrestrials. Now Lyrans are kind of similar, but they're from a different star system. All these all these ETs are from like different star systems, and these ones also are known to be kind of like humanoid, cat-esque, you know, kind of like feline-y, and they're known for their strength and their wisdom. And so what they do is empower us, and that helps us along our enlightenment and higher consciousness journey. So at this point, you might be thinking, okay, well, if these beings are created to come here and help us with all these things and block negativity and then these negative forces, like, why don't they just like come out and introduce themselves? I have a few speculations why, and then I have a few like solid reasons why. Part of my speculation is that like we're not in a place where we could accept ETs as a whole, like as humanity on Earth, right? Like we can't even get along with each other, let alone how if we can't even get along human to human in our own, not even just our own world, but in our own communities, in our own countries, right? How are we going to welcome and accept aliens? You know what I mean? Like I don't see how it would even be possible. But the more like accurate, solid, non-opinioned version is that there's something called universal law. So Earth is what we call a free will planet. So what that means is the Galactic Federation can't like fully come in and expose themselves unless we invite them in. So instead, how they communicate with us is a bunch of different ways, but different like subtle frequencies, people that astral project or remote view, and kind of like things like that. So that's really how they communicate with us. They, from my understanding, want to come in. They want to show themselves. They want to integrate into our Earth and help us at a much faster pace. But is humanity ready? I am. I'm ready. But I think most people just aren't, you know what I mean? There are a lot of people out there that can like channel some of these beings. Like if you've ever heard of, crap, I'm blanking. What's his name? Daryl. He channels an ET named Bashar. And a lot of people are out there doing that. So if you want to see like more what I'm talking about, like look him up. That's like some really good information there. And they can kind of receive like telepathic downloads like from the GFL and some of these like beings. And often what's included in these messages or channels or downloads or whatever, how you're getting them is just, you know, spiritual knowledge, guidance, and sometimes warnings. I think they try to like stay away from that as much as possible, but they do come in. And as I mentioned, for those that are a little more advanced and can do some of the astral traveling, even like lucid dreaming, right? Like they can come to you in dreams and give you messages within your dreams. But if you're not working with your dreams already, you might like, they might be coming to like communicate with you, and you might be communicating with some of these ETs in your dreams. But because you have not taught yourself how to work with your dreams and learn them and even just remember them, you might not even know that you're actually communicating with some of these ETs. So if you do want to learn how to remember your dreams and work with them, I have a step-by-step guide video I will post right here that you can kind of go and check that out. I'm a big dream person. I work with my dreams quite often, and that's a really good way to you know, meet these very real and, I don't know, interesting beings. Now, obviously, this one I feel unsure about still, and that's all like the UAPs and UFOs and all that kind of stuff that we've been seeing the last few months around the world. I can't get a clear read on them, like when I'm meditating and stuff. Like sometimes I feel like they're ETs and like sometimes I feel like they're not. So my best guess there, based off of all the meditations I've done and information I've seen, is there's probably like some kind of mix where it's like half government and like half, I don't know if it's half, you know what I mean, but like, and then like half ETs. So these like UFOs that you're seeing, yeah, they could be. And the thing is a lot of these channelers and messengers that bring in a lot of this ET information are saying that they have to kind of do it in steps, right? Because as I mentioned before, humanity's not like fully ready. Like what would you do on it? What would I do? Like I'm ready for it, and I still, like, if there was just like an alien in my window right now, I'd probably be a little freaked out, right? And so it's said that they're doing these in like steps. So for example, like all the, UFO sightings and stuff we've seen over the last few months is like maybe step one, right? And then when you start seeing them like hovering over these specific buildings or oceans or whatever, and like they're clearly there, where we're not seeing they're like, oh, what's that, but they're like there, that might be like step two. And then maybe them coming closer to land is step, I don't like know what their steps are, but like, and maybe like them coming to land is their step three, and then maybe they show themselves and like that's step four, and then they become, you know what I mean? So like, I think what I'm picking up on is that they are doing these in steps so that they don't completely overwhelm humanity. And plus, again, it being a free will, like we have to be energetically, right, inviting them into our home, into our space. Otherwise, they're not gonna just like infringe on how we are living as a society. And the thing is they are more active now on our planet, personally on Earth, more than ever, because humanity is going through a huge mass awakening right now. And it's been going on for a little while. And I think that it's just progressing a lot quicker than it was before. Like more and more people are waking up like per day, per week, per month, per year. And so they kind of like have to be coming in a little stronger than they ever have before. You know what I mean? Like we have a lot of people that are questioning reality. We have a lot of the older systems that are breaking down. And as a whole, right, consciousness is shifting into a high vibration. And you know, watching this video and diving into content like that is part of the mass awakening. You, just by watching this and being open-minded and taking in information like this, is in itself helping the planet ascend to this higher consciousness, to away from the fear and the control and all that, and towards the love and acceptance and the life that, you know, we really should be living as humans, right? Like this, so many freaking layers. But I request from you that the best thing you can do at this time is to be open-minded, is to question everything. Even what I'm saying, like I've said this in plenty of my videos, like I don't want you watching this video and just like taking it as fact, right? Like I want you to like go inwards. I want you to meditate. I want you to explore topics that interest you. And really just the most important thing there is that you gotta be open-minded. You know, I know that it can seem foreign and quite overwhelming, and it can sometimes feel like, is this even real? And I will tell you, it is. And it's really exciting to be on Earth in a time where all this is happening. And you also have to remember that you chose to be here. Like you wanted to be here during this process, okay? That's not a coincidence. Like you wanted to be on Earth to be a part of and observe this transformation of humanity. And so knowing that, open your mind a little bit and explore it a little bit, and know that like you wanted to be a part of this, so be a part of it, you know, in whatever way feels right for you. So if you're wanting to connect with the GFL, there's a few things you can do, and that is, like I said, meditating and going inwards and raising your vibration and working with your dreams. Did I say meditating? If I did, I think I did, but if I didn't, meditating. It's a big one. That's like your stepping stone. You know, you really want to do your best to align with love, with growth, with expansion, with gratitude. I mean, you do those things and you really dive into that, and it's never a done thing. It's not like you like do it once and like you're good to go. It's a continuous thing that you have to do, but you're going to simultaneously be raising, you know, the frequency of the Earth and have a better chance at connecting with some ET. So I really hope you found value in this video and enjoyed this topic as much as I do. So much fun. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe so we can hang out again next week, and share this video with someone who you think is a little open-minded and can handle it. Okay? I love you guys so much. And don't forget, be limitlessly yourself.